All right. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mr. Speaker, and last episode we had some technical issues, but don't worry. After around 5 minutes, it gets better. So have a jolly good listening, people.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dylan Latimer here with Etienne Cote and Loic Coney Morno, back with another episode of How Hard Can It Be? That's the name of the podcast now. We changed it.
Yep. Well, we didn't change it. We just.
I
found
mean,
a
we
name.
Never had one.
Yeah.
So
So, yeah, last episode was on procrastination, if you remember, and now we are on motivation, the logical suite to.
Sweet.
that's-
What's
I don't think that's an English word.
Who
but,
cares?
you know what I mean. It's the continuation of procrastination, right? So, let me ask you, boys, what makes you wake up in the morning? You know, what gets you going through the hard times?
So what get us going in hard times?
Yeah, what motivates?
through the hard times or in the morning?
I mean, the morning's hard. That's
I mean, is it? I mean,
don't get philosophical.
No.
All right.
No, it's not hard. If you actually wake up to do something you like doing.
okay. So basically, what motivates you in the mornings is doing something you like.
Well, not exactly, because I wouldn't be motivated to play video games. And
Or why would it not be? If it's something you like, why would you not wake up to do that?
because I know it's bad for me.
Yeah, but bad for you. But what about the people that actually like doing it?
Well, okay.
They'll do so.
Yeah.
They'll do so. So
It was a personal figurative question.
Okay. So then, what makes you wake up in the morning, Dylan?
Asteroid mining. It's
stupid capitalist.
Elaborate.
yeah. Well, okay. Me, I always like to have a really long term like vision. You know, like an incredibly long term unachievable like vision, so that I always have something to kind of work towards, right? And to me, it's asteroid mining. I find that to be a redonkulously cool idea. You know, mining resources from asteroids. So every time things get tough, I'm like, all right, someday I'm gonna be on Mars, you know, or asteroids and stuff. And that's what gets me going. You know, the
I see
turbo
Mr. Speaker judging right now.
turbo capitalism.
Mr. Speaker knows not asteroid mining.
How is building an app gonna make you like close, get you closer to like?
Well, because it's stepping stones. It's stepping stones, right? I mean, you get one thing, right? So you get the app, so you get money, and with that money, you can do more projects, right? Like bigger scale with the money you've made, and then you can with that you can do bigger and bigger projects, which make more and more money, right? And then eventually you can use the ridiculous sum of money you have to do something that doesn't necessarily create value, right? Like you can kind of just create money sinks without needing to generate revenue because you already have all these sources, right? So it's kind of like a small step going upwards towards something large like asteroid mining.
Okay, so like the big impossible mission actually motivates you,
Yeah, to keep taking
which is actually, well, for some people it's a source of demotivation.
Well, I think it's a mix of fear too, right? Because
Yeah.
that's like my optimistic motivation, but there's also the fear of blinking and I'm 30, still living in Sherbrooke with nothing done in my life, working at McDonald's, right? That's a fear, right? So it's
Yeah.
kind of like the combo of both that get me going.
Like what I mean is when people see like the fucking incredible mountain they have to climb to like get to asteroid mining, they just say, oh, well, I'm not motivated
Really back down.
Well, that's
because it
Which-
seems big. You know?
that's why you break it down, right? You got the programmer's approach to how you operate. You have a complex problem and you break it down into like granular, small, easy steps.
Mountain, man, climb.
I mean, basically, that's how it is. You go step by step rather than actually just seeing the big picture. You do, I mean, you take small steps because you're not going to walk the whole way if you just like jump it. You won't be able to do one step and get to the end.
Yeah, no.
You always have to set small goals.
If you look at the top of the mountain all the time, I think it can get discouraging. So it's important to it's important to not always look at the top. I believe just kind of like keep your head down sometimes and just focus on one step at a time, right? But you have to know what the steps are. You have to focus on what's
I
coming.
mean, you need direction,
Yeah, exactly.
or else you're getting nowhere if you're just doing things to do them.
Like by knowing what is your like, what's basically your purpose in life in a certain way.
Yeah, it is.
But like this is for another podcast, I think.
I mean,
Okay then. So we could say that the things that is motivating Dylan is actually his final like destination, you know?
I
Like
mean,
the
it's
final thing.
a huge goal, something so big that even big does not describe it. Asteroid mining, it's still, it barely exists. Like people are not even starting. They're not even mining asteroids as of now.
Well, I think they've started actually.
I mean, they sent a satellite on an asteroid, but they haven't actually. I mean, they
Dug
probably
on it?
collected samples, as I mean, that's what you do. They did collect samples from asteroids, but they haven't started mining it for the resources itself.
That's where I come in.
Yeah. Okay, so like knowing that, I feel like to answer your question, like the one thing that makes me wake up in the morning is a vision of freedom, like being financially, well, any others, freedom possible.
Not dependent on
Yeah,
like
yeah.
working a 9 to 5 every
Yeah.
day.
Having
being
enough,
able to just
being able to do whatever the fuck I want.
so you just
any
wake
day of the
up and
week.
say like, "Hey, I want to go do that," and then you can
Yeah.
just do it.
So like that's
Because-
why the hard works needs to be done right now. So in 10, 20 years, I'll be able to like just chill and
And do you think you're
relax,
gonna
yeah.
have, pardon me, you think you're gonna have like projects too when you're there, or
Yeah,
is it
for
just like
sure.
the liberty to not be?
no, it's
Like-
just I will have projects, but I will work on projects that I want to work on. You know,
Yeah, not that you're forced on because
Yeah.
you're like shackled by monetary.
I won't be like working at a fucking butcher shop anymore. You know,
The French.
what's
a
a
butchery?
butchery?
A butchery? Is
Is
it
it a
that?
butcher?
A butcher's shop?
Butcher shop?
We'll go with butcher
Yeah.
shop.
Yeah, the butcher shop.
Yeah. How about you, Loic?
Well, there's quite nothing that gets me waking up in the mornings except if it's just
You don't wake up in the morning.
I don't wake up in the mornings, man. I sleep, and if I do wake up, well, I guess I woke up,
You
and I
roll
just
out
get
of
on
bed.
with my day
Yeah.
with no actual goal in mind.
But you've started doing the 6 a.m. jogging now.
I
right?
did.
How's
I did.
What motivates you to do that?
Fun. I have fun doing so,
Yeah.
and it actually sets up my day, because if you start off on the right foot, I mean, your day is already set because I mean you're in a good mood, and basically everything goes so well now that it feels good to jog. It feels good to do something, you know.
Do you see a noticeable difference within
do.
your day from before you did the jogging to now?
Well, I've already got more energy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. Cause like, well, just to like do a little parenthesis with me, like when I wake up at 5 a.m. to like go work out with the football team, yeah, I feel so much more energized than just waking up at 7 to be in school.
Because you're motivated.
Yeah, but like that's basically.
But it's not even then motivation that makes you feel good. It's actually moving. It's starting your day off with a little bang, you know, a little shake it.
Well,
because
it's like you said, it sets the mood for your day, right? You set the mood to action and not inaction, I think.
Okay, so like we talk about what actually motivates us, but like we don't specifically know what motivation is. So like
Like concretely, what is it?
what is motivation concretely?
Well, I think we kind of went over it, right? It's like it's what gets you going. Right?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah.
the vision or would that be more ambition? do you
Well, I
think?
found the description stating that the term motivation describes the why the person does something.
Okay, that makes sense.
So like
basically just the driving force.
yeah,
It's the reason.
exactly.
Okay.
Is the driving force behind human action.
There's different-
Motivation is the process that initiates, guides, and maintains goal-oriented behaviors.
And there's the intrinsic and extrinsic motivation, right? So like internal versus external factors that might motivate you, right? So internal would be more like value
Yeah,
oriented.
values and beliefs. It's
Values and beliefs.
something that you believe in that you actually want to work towards.
But still,
Rather-
it's just to be like the devil's advocate. But like I feel like any sort of intrinsic motivation comes from something from the outside.
I
you know?
mean, it could definitely, but then you make it your own. As
It's
in,
like if you want to be in better shape, like why do you want to be in better shape?
I mean, if you
Like
want,
you, if-
usually you compare yourself to others,
yeah,
and you see like, hey man, this guy's got muscle, he's big, he's built. Damn, I want to do this. I want to be built, you know.
But what if you do it for health reasons?
But if you do
yeah,
it for
but, like,
health reasons,
if
well,
okay, if you only see like people that are in generally bad health, then it's just normal. You don't it doesn't come from the inside of you, like saying, "Oh, I want abs" or whatever. It's the outside factor which tells you, okay, yes, you need to be in better shape, and then it comes from inside because like you have the burden of being out of shape, you know.
So extrinsic motivation creates intrinsic motivation,
I mean,
but there
Yeah.
is intrinsic motivation. I
there
guess.
is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
At first, I think it comes from an outside like factor, but then you kind of associate it with yourself, and it like
It becomes
keeps
like
you going.
a
Yeah.
core value kind of, right?
Yeah.
Like internal to yourself.
Yeah.
And do you think there's like bad motivation, good and bad motivation?
Ooh, good question.
Well, motivation out of fear isn't really good, but in a certain way, like having the fight or flight response isn't always bad.
Like you said before, sometimes it can like just freeze you. So
Yeah, it's the fight, flight, or freeze reaction.
yeah. So what would bad motivation be like specifically? Do you think?
Well,
Bad motivation, huh? Well, because I mean, either way, is it not just motivation? Does it still not make you do something? Because what would?
What can be like unsustainable? I guess. Like,
Oh, okay. So basically just something that's like a bad motivation would be someone that's telling you to do this because it doesn't come from you. Motivation doesn't have to come from you, but bad motivation would be something that is like um fucking.
what
It's
if you're
not
like
always
what if you're like
there.
pressured to do something by external, so like peer pressure? I guess that's like bad motivation in a way.
yeah, but
I mean,
in-
depends.
it depends,
If it's
'cause-
still always there, then what says it's not good motivation?
no, but then
Because-
okay, if you're motivated by your peers to like smoke a joint or do like anything which is harmful to you or anyone in your surroundings, then it's bad. But like if you're
Well, the action is bad, not the motivation.
yeah, well, I mean,
Because they're still telling you to do something, then you decide it off of your own. Like, even though it's peer pressure, you can still say no, but you're more likely to say yes because everyone's saying yes. So it doesn't mean that everyone's saying yes and you say no, that it's bad or something or anything. It just means that everyone's pressuring you to do so, so then you do it. But would good motivation be considered as something that will always motivate you? That's always pushing you to
Well,
actually do something. Or
Actually, I think that good and bad motivation might just kind of be synonyms to intrinsic and extrinsic, right? Because sometimes you're motivated by external factors, which is not necessarily good, versus being motivated by intrinsic, like internal factors. Like if I'm working out for my health and because I want to be able to like lift my grandchildren when I'm 90, like that's a good motivation. But if I'm doing it out of extrinsic motivation where I do it because I want to be ripped because I'm insecure and like for like social circumstances, like I feel like that might be considered bad motivation because I'm not doing it for me, I'm doing it for others, right?
okay, well, let's say I have a football practice and I'm doing like whatever anything I need to do and I lose a rep, okay? And then I just work harder to win that rep, the next rep. I'm not motivated by myself. It's just the teammate who said, "Oh, you're shit" or whatever. I just want to win.
But do you want to win?
Yes, I do.
So then it's intrinsic,
so
right?
then
Well, is
it's
it-
intrinsic?
Because
Yet you're still
it comes
adding on
from
to it.
competition. It's not me who like. If that didn't happen, I might actually not like work on this specific move. You know.
I mean, depends if you did believe in it. If you know, because you've also got to be truthful to yourself. You know, if you miss that rep, you're like, man, shit. Well, too bad. Then surely you're not going to do it. But if you're like, shit, I didn't do it. I have to retake it. I actually have to win it back. Well, then that is like you're pushing yourself. So it's intrinsic, but still it's what's the and extrinsic because well you actually failed that rep, which is pushing you intrinsically to say like, hey man, I believe that I need to succeed. I actually need to do it, and so this external factor of you not of you losing that rep is actually pushing you to keep on going, and actually pushing you to like do it again and actually win it.
Yeah.
So
Okay, but like, can competition be actually seen as a motivator in
oh
for someone?
it's
definitely.
extrinsic.
Competition is a motivator because I mean it's competition for a reason. Your goal is to win.
But is it good or bad?
I mean it's good because it's pushing you to your limits. If you're always trying to win,
Yeah,
then-
but it can turn into like something bad where you're just obsessed about this one thing.
I
But
think
is
that's
it
why it always
bad?
depends on the end goal, right? It's always scope to that. If the end goal is good, then sometimes I think suffering might be necessary and good in a way, right?
Yeah.
So, do you think that fear, because I was saying earlier, like fear of like blinking and I'm 30 doing nothing with my life. Do you think that is a motivator? Well, I mean, it is a motivator. Is it like bad? Is that bad motivation? Fear?
Well,
Well, fear makes you act. So it cannot be considered as bad, but the outcome is definitely bad from what you're saying because you want money, you want to be good, you actually want to succeed, and then you got that end where you've done nothing, and then you're out here just to perish from where you've always been. Na 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 na, live a miserable life. You do nothing. So even if the end is bad and the fear, because you don't want to end up in that bad situation, so you do work towards your goals. So I find it to be a good motivator because well you're working towards what you believe, and it's just telling like, hey man, you've got that other end and I don't think you want this, so go to work, work for yourself.
So basically, any kind of motivator is good as long as it brings you closer to whatever your personal end goal is.
I mean, which is basically what motivation is.
Yeah, which is it links back to exactly what it is. And is motivation like necessary for a successful, happy life? Do you think?
well,
Oh, you need some of it because
Yeah.
maybe just to get you going. Because if you do truly believe in something, then you will want to work towards that. So at first, maybe for the first time, okay, it pushes you. It's well, like, hey man, this is going to happen. Then you still don't see how many steps you actually need to take to get there, and it's going to be big. And it's a big gap. So then you get going. You walk your first 1,000 steps. That's fine. And then since you already know your end goal, then all you have to do is just keep on going. So then motivation is just a starter, but then afterwards you actually got to tough through. It becomes mental. So you got to keep on going, even if motivation is not there.
Well, that's where
Well,
discipline comes
yeah,
in, right?
but still, I feel like discipline and motivation have to be like in unison in a certain way. They have to like be jammed together. You can't just be disciplined. You'll feel depressed. You'll feel like
so
shit.
you'll be
'Cause
sad.
It's like a lot of self-improvement gurus say like, oh, you don't have to be motivated. Just be fucking disciplined. Like, all right, but like only being disciplined will only get you like to some points where you don't like what you're doing and you feel miserable again because you're in a position where you don't like any of the things you're doing.
That can lead to burnout, which I believe is when you work towards something that doesn't really resonate with your end goals, right? It goes against your core values, kind of. So, like you say, motivation and discipline should definitely be in unison, I think.
Yeah, because too much of one is bad and too much of the other is bad too. Because you can't just be disciplined because you won't like the things you're doing, but only motivation feels like you're gonna just do it once and then we all feel motivated for one day, but without discipline, we won't be able to do that thing again the next day because it's hard for.
Well,
Yeah, 'cause
that's what it
motivation-
is. Motivation is the initial push.
Yeah, it's the momentum
yeah.
starter.
So you need like motivation to kick off every day, but then once you started it, then it's just discipline that comes into place.
Because you always need that little spark of happiness, like saying, oh, this is actually what I want. Or you become happy. It's like, hey man, this is the end goal. Like, I'll become rich. I'll become happy. I'll get whatever I want. It's like, okay, then now the day started. Fuck, I've got to go to work, and I've actually got to work to this. So the climb is not going to be fun, but that motivation is what keeps you. Is what lets you know that hey, there's a top to this. Like the mountain's peak actually exists.
Yeah, but there's a way to make the climb like cool in a certain way. Because if you don't like the process of it all, you won't like the end result. Like, okay, imagine if I don't like practices, then I won't be able to like the games too. If I just want to play games, I won't be in like the shape to play games.
But that's
You
where
gotta
add
love the
stuff.
process.
you add little stuff just like a gamification. You make things fun. You give them your own twist. You make them because you might practice. You might think, oh shit, that's practice, not fun. But what you can say is like, hey man, I'm getting better, so that way I can beat other people. It's, you just switch your point of view of what you're actually doing, in a way that you understand it.
Do you gamify your life, Etienne, or do you just
Wait, what's gamify?
So basically, gamification is a video game. How you've got like stats, levels, whatever time, So basically, gamification is you're transforming your life into a game. So, say rather than saying like oh yeah, I'm studying this, you can say like, oh, I'm leveling up in my intellectual competences or whatever the hell. You're switching your point of view on things rather than saying I'm doing them to do them. I'm doing them to like better myself, to make my character better, to actually become better.
so you kind of try to make the difficult things addicting in a way?
Well,
right?
no, I don't.
No, you just
I just don't think like when I do homeworks. I don't think about whether or not like I actually want to do it.
Yeah, you just
Because
do
I
it
know
'cause-
like you can't be fucking motivated to do your math exam your math homework. It's boring. How are you like happy to like do math homeworks? No, you don't do any math homework. I'm sorry.
I don't do it, man.
well, because it goes against my values, right?
How does doing your homeworks goes
Because
against your value?
it's working.
Mr. Speaker.
It's working towards something stupid that it feels like working just to work, like fake paperwork. Like there's no reason behind it. It's just okay, work, and then we'll quiz you on your ability to remember. And
What's the equation of a circle?
Yeah, exactly.
No, they're just things that you learn to learn.
Yeah, but like in general, I don't actually like gamify my life.
Yeah.
It's just if I don't know. I feel like I'm more of a disciplined person than a motivated one, but still, I need motivation to start off things.
And how do you motivate yourself?
100 push-ups.
Oh no, that you're punishing yourself.
Yeah, isn't that just destroying bad habits? Well, explain
yeah.
explain what you do.
Well, okay. Let's say I do something that I don't want to do. I explain it. No, bro, you fucking getting me with film. It's why just okay. Well, if you do that behavior, 100 push-ups, and that hurts, man. I did 100 push-ups yesterday. Like I
So you
think.
did do them, huh?
Yep.
So your brain learns to associate the pain with the action so that you stop doing the
But
action.
what if you
Yeah.
love doing the push-ups?
You can't love doing 100 push-ups.
Who says? Why
Bitch,
can't?
do 100 push-ups right now.
right now.
Right now. I don't care.
On the
Okay.
table.
On the table. I'll do it.
We'll see if you love love doing them 100
I
push-ups.
mean, I love suffering. Something that I've learned about myself, like
wow, bro,
Masochist.
psychopath.
physical suffering, but not in a way of like knives and shit, but as in like
No, but like
work your
workout
body,
The,
you
the,
know?
the workout pain is cool.
it's good thing. man.
Yeah, like the hack squat really makes you go crazy.
Oh man.
But still, I think I don't just punish myself. You think I just punish myself, right?
Yeah, man. From what I've heard,
No, like
no poker this morning. Push-ups.
no, like what motivates me? I don't know. I just go. I kind of wonder, but like in between good habits, it's weird.
But do you
It's
always like?
But I
being-
feel like it's the fear of doing the bad behavior, meaning I'll do 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
That keeps me on the right track, you know. So then fear would be my biggest motivator. Just like you, like I don't want to be
Holden.
old and not swole. Oh.
Okay.
No, like,
okay.
In bad shape and in bad health, mentally, physically, financially, in my relationships, like it's kind of fear too.
So I guess everyone is kind of motivated by fear then, right?
I mean,
Well,
it
yeah,
depends.
but no.
I
Some
mean,
people just don't care. Like, I don't know. I can't say his name, but like, there's some people's in our school right now that would just like go wandering in life, doing the bad behaviors, knowing they're bad for them. And
mean,
they
that's
just don't
everyone.
feel
It's like a lot of people. It's not
Yeah.
just our school.
Yeah, but then they still do it again because, well, dopamine. But still, they don't feel motivated to do like the good things. But
It's 'cause they
still,
don't have
it's a downward spiral too.
Because they don't have a goal.
Yeah, but I don't specifically have a. Bro, being free is vague as fuck. No?
Yeah. But like these people, for example, they might not have a goal, but they still like do their homework to pass their exams, right? So they're motivated to not fail, right? So it's still a fear motivation in a way. So I think fear motivation is kind of like running away from the problem, but you need to combine it with like actual concrete goal-oriented motivation to run away from a problem towards a solution
I mean,
instead of just
that
running.
fear is
to
basically
run.
just a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
That keeps you going. Like, you slow down. Oh shit! Wait, right. I don't want that end. So then you just get back on track.
Yeah, exactly. But you get kicked in the ass by fear, but there's still 360 degrees of the circle of where you can run, right? So it's like
Yep.
run towards something that is gonna help you.
Which is
and
then the goal that you have, which then stretches your path.
I think that's always kind of the takeaway is that you really need to set like a clear goal, not just be free. It's like
Yeah,
Like,
well,
what-
I had like my monthly goals, yearly goals.
what's
I
an
think-
example of a yearly goal?
A yearly goal.
Yeah,
Oh, wait, just let me find them.
I find it hard to plan like really far in advance because I find that things change so fast. And that
Yeah, well, I don't like. Okay, it's not like big things. It's
I mean, it
it's
doesn't
kind of
have
vague,
to be.
but it's like things I know I need to work on, and that takes many steps to get there that are actually kind of vague. Like, okay, I need to organize my time better. Okay, like being more organized and like, so that way I can do more things in one day.
because that's the thing. A lot of people make goals like that, like to have
Yeah, but
better
still, after
time
that, you gotta
management.
break them down into.
Yeah, but exactly. So
Okay,
it's like-
because every month I have my personal goals, sports goals, relationship goals, and business goals. Okay, so I break them down. I have 2 to 3 goals like every month, like the most important one. Mostly with consequences if I don't do them.
Do you have it written down in your doc every month?
Yep. Look, it's kind of details. Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, but still, it's be grateful and stop complaining. It's not like super big, but it's just okay. Well, if I'm more grateful and I just don't complain all the time,
It's kind of like things to keep in mind during
yeah,
the whole.
it's just okay. Well, I'll be a positive person, and negative energy won't affect me, and I'll be more effective in a certain way because I feel energized.
Yeah.
and not like leveled down by negative energy. Well, I had in December. I had in December. It's kind of long, but it's the page I opened. I had a really bad time like sleeping, and like I always woke up like fatigued, and I think the reason was I overtrained, but like we don't care. It's just so I said to myself, okay, let's do some research on sleep, like understand the root problem of why you're
Why you
so
were fatigued.
fatigued. So these are the things. Get to 160 pounds, hit the gym, go boxing, whatever.
Okay, so you kind of organize your months in a different way than me. You have more like general personality oriented
Yeah.
goals. I
Well,
feel like.
because with the vending machine business, I had like very like times thing. Time stamps.
Yeah.
Okay, on this day you gotta have this done, but it doesn't work because I depend on so much people right now, like for the emplacement,
Yeah.
the machine itself, everything. So I
So you can't
right
really-
now if I actually take my first schedule, I'm 1 month late. It's not because of like how it works. It's just the process of like okay, doing the estimate. What's estimate?
Estimate.
Yeah,
Or
estimations. Monetary, because to not be in debt, whatever it is, this that, and well, just like a construction, building a house, like takes time, and they're always late. But still, like, I don't think having timestamps is useful, but not always.
Oh, I feel the complete opposite. Me, my entire structure is based off of like concrete. I kind of organize my time in weekly blocks. and I say this week this needs to get done. I don't care what day it's done. I don't care in what order, but what I write down must be completed, right? And I really go into to like detail like what each and every little like aspect must be completed. And the more check boxes I have, the more I'm likely to complete them because a lot of them are like really small, easy ones. So I tend to do like a few easy, like really easy peasy shit just to get the ball rolling, right? And then once you've got a few check boxes down, it's like, okay, what's a fourth, right? Like you kind of feel motivated to do bigger and harder things, right? I kind of like think of it as saving my future self pain too. It's like, okay, I'm gonna absorb all the stupid tasks today, and then another day I'll see the.
Well, you see, this is there was a guy on, I don't know, YouTube I found, who said like discipline is doing the things you don't want to do for your future self or something like that. I don't know, but
Yeah.
still, like this is basically what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And still, you don't. I don't think you're motivated to do this.
I am well. This is I kind of keep the end goal in mind always,
Yep.
right? So I focus on the steps, and I try to keep my head down and look at where I'm stepping instead of looking up the mountain, right?
So just like to wrap this up because I think we're gonna run out of time and the bell is gonna ring once again.
Well, in 10 minutes.
Yep. Well, no, just break down like what really motivation is. It's having a clear goal in mind that you work for. Because if you go like vaguely going like in any direction, you won't feel motivated. Because you're not climbing a mountain. You're just walking on the road. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, who says you don't see that mountain? You're like, hey, I want to climb it. But then the next day, you're like, not really. That's really just what it is. Just you see goals, you feel like doing it, but it's just you feel like doing it. Then if you actually do it, then that's another thing.
But that's why we say that it has to be symbiotic with discipline, right? I think that's kind of a takeaway from this too.
Yep.
Is that both are crucially important.
Yeah, and in Atomic Habits, like, well, James Clear says something kind of similar to motivation, where to like build good habits, where you like first gotta identify a cue for
Yep.
the things you want to do,
QC2R,
like
Q craving,
yeah, cue craving,
response reward.
yep, and then give you a reward. So like your reward would be like the final product of like the infinite work you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But then what really, why do you think of working? On
Me,
this.
like when
Yeah.
when I work, well, me there is actually reward. Like when I do like
Yeah,
programming,
because you need them small rewards.
when I do programming, for example, like I'll be working on a stupid like bullshit problem for like a day or two, right? But when I fix it, there is a surge of dopamine that rushes through my brain. Like it is actually the problem solving is really rewarding, and when you do have like start to have a final product that looks nicer and nicer by the day, right? And that works good and is like unbreakable, it's like it really does feel good. And you look at all your stuff that you've coded and it's like there's the work went towards something and then you can monetize it after, right? Which is like a whole other can of worms. But just the process of building in and of itself is rewarding, I find.
Yeah, but like okay, let's say like you're in a situation where even brushing your teeth, you need to be motivated to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you find a reward to brushing your tooth, which is tooth, whatever.
Teeth.
Which is not like detrimental to you, which says, okay, well, if I do this, well, I'm gonna go watch TV. Because most people do this, and I still do this to this day. Like, okay, if I do this hard task, well, I'll do something.
Then I can do something that's easy.
Yeah.
And, I mean,
Like, okay, well, then I'll go scroll on Facebook, you know.
Yeah. That's a slippery slope. That
Yeah.
I think
Like,
everyone
what
has.
what's would be like some rewards that are actually good for you that you could implement to motivate yourself? Is it like personal to anyone or?
I think it is definitely
I mean,
personal.
it has to be personal because reward. If everyone had the same reward, well, then some people will not work to some things because well, that reward is not rewarding. Because rewards have to be something that you like. I mean, could it be something you like? I mean, it has to be something that feels good. That's why it's a reward.
Do you need a reward if the process is rewarding in and of itself? Like with
Well,
the
no,
coding?
that is
If-
the reward. If the
Yeah,
process
if
is rewarding.
like for you, like actually solving the problem is the reward for you.
Every time you solve a small problem, you're repeating that small
Yeah.
segment of, as we said, cue, craving, response, reward.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, I've got this little problem, and then reward. Oh, hey, that's nice. Okay, time to move on to the next, and again and again and again.
Yeah, like there's some actually some behaviors that you can actually reward yourself while doing them. That if you actually want to implement them and be motivated to do those, you need to add like a little spice of some sort.
I think, because what I'm imagining in my mind is a lot of like bad rewards, like
Yeah,
food
yeah,
or,
that's
like
that's exactly
scrolling.
what I'm thinking about right now. Like you could, I don't know, because like listening to music doesn't sound like a reward, you know? Like you gotta make something. It's kind of punishing yourself once again. Like making something. Okay, well, if I do this, then I'll be able to like the one thing I want to do. But like you deprive yourself from it and during the whole day. Like if you don't
That's
do
why
this thing.
I think it's really a bad strategy to motivate yourself, to reward yourself with like something external after. I think you have to find a way to make the process rewarding. I think that's really like
Yeah.
the only way to go. I don't think you
So
can.
how is like washing yourself rewarding in itself?
Well,
Like you don't smell yourself. No?
no,
you
but
feel
feel
clean.
clean.
Yeah, but still.
But I think that's like a weird example to clean yourself. I don't think anyone has motivation problems with that.
Okay, well, what would be a good example? Like a small behavior, which is going to sleep early.
Yeah, okay, that's better.
How do you feel motivated to go to sleep early?
By knowing how I'm gonna feel in the morning if I don't.
Yeah, but still. Like
mean,
if
depends.
you
If
just
you're-
wake up later, and you're gonna feel the same way.
Interesting. Mr. Speaker, you're being a bit.
Wow, are we gonna really stop on this question right
Audio
now?
guys hungry.
This is gonna be for you, the listeners, to really find your reward, you people.
I think
continue.
I think that really is it. You just have to find a way to because it's kind of personal to every process to make it rewarding in and of itself.
Yep. Okay,
Well,
so that was episode 2.
okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have talked
Ladies
about,
and gentlemen.
motivation, and we've gone around basically what motivation was it good or bad?
Stay hard. Well, I'm gonna be. I'm stealing David Goggins.
Oh no, it's yours. It's yours. It's yours.
Yeah, it's mine.
No.
So, well, thank you for listening, and we still don't know what the next episode will be about, but
It'll probably be a logical continuation once again.
Once more.
A logical suite.
yep. So thank you, everyone. Be motivated today.
Stay hard.
Stay hard.
Stay hard.